Shalom. All praises go to the Most High Yahweh, Ba'asham Yahushua, Ba'asham Yahushua. Double honor unto the elder apostles, a great millstone for the teachings of the scriptures, among other things. Shalom to the sincere Akim across the world. Now, this is the book of Leviticus, chapter 25, verse, the chapter, but it says, the title is Sabbath and Jubilee years, right? So it says here, first one. And Yahweh spake unto Moses in Mount Sinai, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel, and say unto them, When ye come into the land which I gave you, then shall the land keep a Sabbath unto the Lord. So now you have the Sabbath of the land, which Esau is not doing. That's why these animals and these insects are eating all the crops. And what is Esau doing? He is a demon. He's spraying the crops, and then this is coming in your food. You're eating this. It's like me having a tree, an apple tree, right? Me having an apple tree. Now, let's say I have two apple trees. I have one here and another one there, right? But I put it there, then here, right? So this one that's here, I'll just use this one. This one here, but they're close to each other, so that's why I want to have it all the way there. But yeah, just picture this one there, or this one. Check this out, right? Just here. Just keep it simple. Now, if I was to water this plant daily, you know yourself. You gotta go to the toilet every time you wake up. You gotta take a piss, right? If I was to water this plant, this tree that I put here, but I'm gonna just show it here then because I'm confusing myself now. If I was to water this plant every day, every morning with my piss, and this one I water with regular real water, right? Would you eat these apples because I would get the tree would get the nutrients from my piss, which is water. But you gotta understand, you eat the earth, because what is in the dirt? Now the dirt has a lot of things in it, a lot of nutrients, a lot of power, right? Especially that rich soil, which is dark, which is what man was made out of, right? You got to ask yourself, like, I don't get it. So here you have just dirt, and then all these things grow out of it. Grass, especially grass. Where the hell does it come from? I don't see no grass particles up in it because it's very small. But the point is that it's full of nutrients. You know what I'm saying? This is kind of like sand, because if you scrape this away, this thing over here won't really be growing grass. It's not really sand, but it's going into that, because what is sand? Sand is actually broken down rocks. These are little rock particles, and that's why you can't grow things on grass, on sand, sorry. Grass doesn't grow on sand. But you can see here, I don't know if you can see it, it's very small. You can see a speck of sand here, grass here growing in the sand, and here too. But that's because there's earth close by, with earth near the surface, so it can grow like dirt, soil. But my point is that the nutrients comes from the earth. It goes into the tree through the branches, and then comes out of the fruit. In this case, it's fruit. It's not vegetable. Apple is a fruit. Yeah. So all the nutrients goes up in here, and then it stays there. Wait a minute. Right, sorry about that. Now, the water then goes through to the tree, to the roots, and then basically it goes into this thing over here. So that's why the fruits a lot of times have juice in it, like water. That's because of the nutrients of the earth combined with the water, and then it goes into the tree. And basically, what you're eating here is earth power with water and stuff like that. But it's basically earth power, the nutrients of the earth help grow this thing. Because if the land is not full of nutrients, these apples wouldn't grow that big. You can give it water all you want. If the dirt is not good, this thing ain't growing. This thing ain't growing. So the power comes from, of course, a combination. The water, which guides this, the nutrients through the branches and stuff like that, through the tree, and then into the vegetables. Just like when you take medicine. They often tell you like you need to drink a lot of water so that the medicine, I mean the vitamins and stuff like that, travels throughout all the body's cells and stuff like that. And the water is a conductor that will guide that those vitamins or the things that you need towards all the cells in your body. Well, that's basically what the water is doing, right? But these devils, what they're doing is they spraying this thing on the food. So when you eat that, what do you think is going to happen to you? Yeah, you're going to get sick. But you're not going to get sick right away. It's just like a snake. A snake bites a rat, right? Now that snake that bit that rat, yeah, he is about 10 seconds. Nah, yeah, let me see. Man, 30 seconds to it's like 60 seconds, man. And he's already, getting messed up and can't really run no more because the venom has spread through his body because he's small. So he's going to die very quick. But if this same snake was to bite a man, which is bigger, it's going to take the poison more time to cover his whole body. And then he will die maybe a day or two. But if this same snake was to bite a horse, and you can figure because it's going to take longer for the horse to die. And if the same snake bites an elephant, it's going to take even longer. Sometimes might even not die. So because you don't do it a lot of damage. So it's the same thing with this. If you eat this for years, the damage is going to show. It's there, but it's not going to affect you right away 100%. It's going to catch up, right? Well, the same thing with basically that was it. The same thing with this. I would not eat a tree that is fertilized with piss, human piss. You know what I'm saying? That's disgusting. But you do it with animal dung, which is grass, which is far cleaner than any human being piss or his feces, man's dung, right? So now back to over here. Now it says here, then shall the land keep a Sabbath unto the Lord. What are you supposed to do? How do you keep the Sabbath of the Lord? Because the Sabbath was made for man, not man made for the Sabbath, right? Mark 2:27. And he said unto them, the Sabbath was not made for man, and not man made for the Sabbath. Therefore, the Son of Man is the Lord of the Sabbath, meaning he's the one that he's the boss basically. And there's certain things that happen concerning on the Sabbath that you are not allowed to do, so like work and stuff like that. But basically the Sabbath was not made for, how can I explain it? The Sabbath was made for us actually. How? Wait, let me read it again. The Sabbath was made for man, and not man for the Sabbath. The Sabbath is a day of rest, because if you work a man 7 days a year, he's going to die of exhaustion. So the Heavenly Father created the Sabbath so that in one day of the week, not year, sorry, one day of the week, then that man could get his power back. It's just like people that hit the gym. I said it wrong in the beginning. Forgive me. I messed up the language. So when it's just like people that hit the gym. People that hit the gym, they don't train if they know what they're doing, then they don't train 24/7. What they do is they train and then they rest for a day or two and then they hit the gym again. Why? Because they need to rest, because the body needs to actually, so with the training you break down the tissue or you tear it, and then when you rest, that's when it actually grows back together and it grows thicker so that your muscles are going to be bigger and stuff like that, right? That's why it hurts. It hurts because it has all these micro tears in it, right? So if you was to work out 24/7, like no, not 24/7, I mean every day, right? 7 days long, every day, you wouldn't really see results, and you're gonna hurt yourself. You really gonna hurt yourself because the body doesn't have time to rejuvenate itself. Well, that's the same thing with the Sabbath. In the spirit, you need rest, or else they call it a burnout or something like that, right? Or a midlife crisis. That's another one about the age. But yeah, they call it a burnout because you're doing too much. So that's why the Heavenly Father created the Sabbath. You have a day of rest in the spirit, mind, body, and soul, right? Because the Sabbath was made for man, not man made for the Sabbath, right? So we need rest, and guess what? To rejuvenate our strength and power. Well, the land also needs rest. Let's say this is the land. Well, it is, but let me give a. Okay, so this is good. This is good. Let's say this part until here. Of course, it goes further, but the picture is not that big. But let's say here, you know what I'm saying? So this part over here, right? So what you do is, well, it's going to explain later on, but I'm going to tell it right now that I'm going to read it. So in what the Heavenly Father is saying is that after 6 years, you need to have the land Sabbath for a whole year. So then the land will grow back and rejuvenate its power and basically become and look like this. Bewildered land, right? Okay. Bewildered garden or something. Basically, you let it go. You know, when you see somebody became fat, then you be like, "Oh, you let yourself go." Right? And basically, the land needs to become like this, wild, like wild and stuff like that, because it will rejuvenate itself, because it will have all this rest. Not no people continually plowing it. It's like somebody continually touching your hair. It's going to get irritating. You know, say, but why are you touching me? My hair for? Well, this is the hair of the earth, and don't touch it for a whole year, so that it can grow out its long locks, and just feel comfortable and beautiful and all salt on how you call that thing? Just good, man, just good. Don't farm the land. But anyway, going back over here. Then shall the land keep a Sabbath unto the Lord. 6 years thou shalt sow the land, plow it, and all that there, right? And 6 years shalt thou prune thy vineyard, and gather in the fruit thereof, right? So you do that for 6 years. You sow, and basically you reap and stuff like that. But in the 7th year shall be a Sabbath of rest unto the land, a Sabbath for the Lord. Thou shalt neither sow thy field nor prune thy vineyard. And what is prune? Basically, kind of the same as prune. Definition. Not this one, that's a fruit. Prune. Here, trim. Basically, an instance of trimming a tree, shrub, or bush. Right. Cut away. Reduce the extent of. Remove. That trim. That's what you do when you have a garden. When you trim your garden and stuff like that. This thing. You can't do this. This is not allowed. Well, you can do this for 6 years. Yes, you can. But in year number 7, the whole year, that would be then 365 days. But in the this is the solar thing. This is Esau, his thing. So he has 365 days a year. We had the lunar calendar. This is the solar calendar. We had the lunar calendar. So the lunar calendar is about, so it's 350 or 355, one of those two. Right. So you are not allowed to do this for an entire year. And how will the land look then? The land will look bewildered, like the other pictures that I just showed, like this. For this, you know, it will look or more even dense than this. Let me see. You know, it will look like you know, like this, for example, right? And then after that year, then you can do this again. You know, you can do all this nonsense here. Right. But this would be in the case of that you plant stuff, not just making your garden look pretty and stuff like that. Not that. I'm meaning that you plant stuff. Well, After 6 years of planting and sowing and stuff like that, and pruning, sorry, then you leave it to grow back like this for a whole entire year. It's going to look like a big bush, but that is how the Heavenly Father said that we are supposed to do it. Because if we don't do it, then all these insects will come and rid of everything. That's why Esau has to spray this insect thing, because the Heavenly Father is sending these animals, these insects upon the land, or the animals that eat vegetables and stuff like that, and they shoot to kill when they see these animals. For example, on you have wild boars that eat the crops of people, and they're angry about it. This is just an example, because you have different type of animals that come and eat the crops, and then what they do with them, they're killing them. Because it says here, killing of wild pigs. Karnataka allows killing of wild boars to protect crops. You see, that's the example that I'm giving you. But they're actually doing nothing. But guess what? If these devils, which they're not gonna do, but if they was to keep the land Sabbath, where's the yeah, if they was to keep the land Sabbath, then the Heavenly Father would keep these animals away from them, because hey, you're keeping the laws. So the Heavenly Father controls these animals. He can make frogs come up out of the water and terrorize your whole land. So he can do that to the animals. He can make quill. Here, no, wait, in Deuteronomy. Quill. How do you spell that? I just saw it. Wait. Those here, I think here. Is that it? Those birds that the Lord bring. These are the birds, yeah. The Lord bring these birds in I think it was the book of Exodus. Oh yeah, here. Exodus chapter 16, verse 13. And it came to pass that at even the quails came up and covered the camp. And in the morning the dew laid round about the host. But you can read this chapter for yourself, because the Heavenly Father brought he brought animals, because the children of Israel wanted to eat meat. He let it rain manna from heaven, and they didn't want to eat that anymore. They wanted now flesh. Here, it says here, Exodus 16 and 11. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, I have heard the murmurings of the children of Israel. Speak unto them, saying, At the even ye shall eat flesh, and in the morning ye shall be filled with bread, and ye shall know that I am Yahweh your power. So, and it came, evening, he brought the quails for them to eat. And then they catch them, and then they ate them. So this is a lawful animal, a lawful bird, what you can eat, but yeah. So this shows you that the Heavenly Father can control these animals. He can just send them for you to be eaten, right? So same thing with the boars, right? So going back over here, or any other animal that would come and eat your crops, But it says here, but in the 7th year, and gather in the fruit thereof. But in the 7th year shall be a Sabbath of rest unto the land, and a Sabbath for the Lord. Thou shalt neither sow thy field nor prune thy vineyards. So no picking. Let's say you see this for a year. Here, let's say you be seeing this and it falls on the ground. And look at all these. Great example. Look at all these apples on the ground. You'd be like, damn, I want to pick that up, man. Damn. No, you can't. Because the Heavenly Father allowed it to be like that for a whole year, and all these animals would come and eat of it. All the birds, all the insects, they would eat of it and have their portion, their joy, which the Heavenly Father created for them, in order for them to be able to eat also, and just be leaving you alone the next time when you be plowing for 6 years. That's how the Lord works. He is fair and honest. That's why he gives these nations time to rule. Look, Esau, he has the time to rule, and he making a mess out of it. That's why the Heavenly Father is going to destroy him. Joel chapter 3. If you read that, then you will see what will happen to them. They're going into slavery. Yes, that's what's up. Right. So, because of unrighteous dealings, the book of Sirach, chapter 10, verse 8. Because of unrighteous dealings, injuries which they brought upon us and upon the world, because the Lord said, destroyed them. The Heavenly Father said in the book of Revelation, Revelation 11 and 18, and the nations were angry, and thy wrath has come, and the time of the dead, the people that are spiritually dead, that their time has come, and the ones that are dead too, their time has come also. Revelation 6 speaks about the ones that have been murdered by these devils, by these Edomites. Their blood shall be avenged, that they should be judged. Who? The ones that are on earth. And that thou shouldest give reward unto thy servants, the prophets, and to the saints, and them that fear thy name, small and great, and shouldest destroy them which destroy the earth. And who is the one that pollutes the food with GMO, the water that we drink with fluoride, and all other type of things? I'm just giving you a few ones that people know. And the air that we breathe with chemtrails and other stuff, other chemicals, they do. The Edomites do. They pollute the water that we drink, the food that we eat, and the air that we breathe. They pollute everything, and they pollute the people's mind. They destroy everything and anything, right? Sirach, which is in the Apocrypha, Ecclesiasticus chapter 10, verse 8, because of unrighteous dealings, injuries, and riches gotten by deceit, they're full of fraud. Their whole system is full of fraud. Eh? The kingdom is translated from one people to another. You got to ask yourself, like, why should I be paying perpetually for a house, renting it perpetually? It don't make no damn sense. He wants an infinite income for eternity. He just wants an infinite income. These devils do. They don't want to sell you that house. And if they do it very expensive. And then you got to pay land taxes of a land that he stole. Basically, he's making free money. Yeah, he stole this land too. Europe, because he belongs in the caves. So, England, he stole that too. Netherlands, he stole it. Everywhere he stole it. You don't belong here. This ain't no Caucasus Mountains nor Mount Seir. You stole this land. But anyway, he's making free money perpetually. This is riches gotten by deceit. You be thinking like, oh yeah, it's normal for me to pay 600 to 1,000 euros every month. What? That don't make no damn sense. I'm supposed to have my own land, and they're talking about that. People are eating too much meat. That is the reason. That is a bullshit reason. It's not true. But the point is that he is the one that's feeding us, because he has them supermarkets. He has the stores. He has the fish markets and stuff like that. If everybody was just allowed to go and fish for themselves, there wouldn't be an overeat. We would have nothing to say concerning we are overeating and overfishing the oceans and stuff like that, right? Overfishing the ocean, which is nearly impossible because, come on, man. You know how big the ocean is, man? Overfishing endangers ocean ecosystem and the billions of people who rely on seafood as a key source of... No, man, it's not about protein, man. It's about just filling your belly up with basically nutrients. Don't be going into calories and all that nonsense there. Our people wasn't thinking like that back in the days, man. They're feeding you nonsense and lies, coming up with a little bit of truth in it because they have that snake tongue. So not everything what they're saying is not true, but they're pushing these type of nonsense because they say they want to this is what they want to do. They're gearing you up It says here, insects are a good replacement for meat because they are healthy and nutrient alternatives. Insects are rich in calcium, iron, and zinc. What the hell? You plants are rich in calcium, iron, and zinc. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I saw it. Right. Moringa has more calcium than zinc. You shouldn't be drinking milk. Sorry, what did I just say? No, I mean, moringa has more calcium than milk. In fact, moringa is said to provide 7 times more vitamin C than orange, 10 times more than vitamin E than carrots, 17 times more calcium than milk, 7 times more protein than yogurt. Why do you need an insect? And that's against the law. The book of Leviticus 11, if I'm correct. 15 times more potassium than bananas and 25 times more iron than spinach. You can just eat this. That's just one thing. That's just one. You know what I'm saying? Right. But these people are liars. That's what's up. They're liars and they're demonic. But the point is that they're feeding us so they can actually block the income source of the food. But if you give every man their land, which is how we're supposed to be, you have one house and then you have a part of land. And then what you need to do is then you need to have a big enough land, by the way. And the earth is big enough, okay? So don't believe in their lies. They're full of lies. They always come with smart, calculated, really thought, good type of lies. Did I click it away? I think I clicked it away or something. I clicked it away, didn't I? Okay, sorry about that. Let me just then open up a new one. So it says here on right. So then you need land, right? So let me give an example of how it would actually is supposed to be done. How you would keep the land Sabbath according to the Heavenly Father so that you don't get plagued by these animals and stuff like that, and that He protects your food income. Let's say you have a house here, right? And then you would have a land like this, for example. Just an example, because if you have more money, you can buy bigger land. That's just how things go, right? But their money is fake and they're liars. They're not supposed to be selling us land. We're supposed to get that land from the Heavenly Father, and we will. All we need to do is wait. We broke the commandments, so now, book of Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse, which verse was it again? 48. Therefore thou shalt serve thine enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee. In hunger, if we want food, we need to go to them. And in thirst, if we want water, we need to go to them. And in nakedness, if we want clothing, we need to go to them. And in want of all things, you want a car, you want housing, you want, everything. We need to go to them. And he shall put a yoke of iron on thy neck until he had destroyed thee. And that is what he did. But we need them now. That's the punishment, right? From 15... These are the curses that shall come upon us. Okay, from there on down are the curses. So yeah, but yeah, going back to here. Let's say you have a house here, and then you have a land like here, right? This for example. Let's say this land. So what do? 6 years, you plow on this side because you don't have a lot of land, right? Okay, cool. And then the 7th year, you switch, and then you go to this part of the land. And then you plow here for 6 years. And let's say you had a bad season, the crops did not grow good, whatever. Okay, now you're up in a starving type tip. Okay, cool, cat. What about all these other people here that we can work together as our our people that you can buy off of this guy? He has a lot. And let's say this whole region got messed up. Okay, you know how many regions you have all over the world, or let me say this spot, for example, in New Orleans got flooded, right? Let's say everybody there had a garden and was self-sufficient and was feeding themselves, right? Bigger? Is this bigger? Yeah. And everybody that was feeding themselves in this region, let's say here is New Orleans, all over here, right? But here in other places outside of New Orleans, they still have the food because nothing is flooded. Then the people here can depend on these people to buy from them. And if they don't, then you just help them. It's also according to the scriptures. But that's another story, right? That's another example, I mean. But the point is that everybody would then be self-sufficient, meaning you would have your own food. And the bigger point is you don't have to rely on the government. This is actually a very good picture. Use this picture for examples and stuff like that. Good pictures. I'm saving them right now. Sorry. Yeah, these are good pictures. Right, you can see it here down here. But yeah, so then you don't have to depend on the government. But we gonna get that all in the kingdom, Heavenly Father willing, and He already shows us. He already shows us. But I'm just telling y'all. Yeah. Now it says here, verse 5, right? So, 5. That which groweth of its own accord, of its own accord, of thy harvest, thou shalt not reap. That's the same thing with here. The things that grow of itself. Let's say you planted this for 6 years. You've been eating apples, and you have so many apples that you can just sell them, right? You can just sell them. You have so many apples, you're not gonna be able to eat them all, and you don't want them to spoil. So you're just going to start selling them. There comes the markets which we had from back in the days. You know, the people that have land and stuff like that. Then you have the markets. And then you might have people that have had a bad crops or something like that. Or, you know, the floodings, whatever, man. Whatever, drought, whatever, you know, in their region. And then they could buy from you. Simple. That's how we are building upon our own through the power of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. But now, the most of our people don't even know what it's like to actually slaughter a chicken, a real live chicken, or fish. The most of our people don't really do that, especially in the Europeanized, westernized countries and stuff like that. You know, it's all messy for them. So, oh, I don't want to kill the animal, but I do want to eat it. What am I going to do? Basically a bunch of sissies, yeah? They don't want to kill the animal, but you want to eat. Well, then turn into a vegan then, sucker. But you got to understand, these plants are alive too. Just because you don't hear them scream, doesn't mean that they're not alive. They're alive and well. They just don't scream or make a fuss when you break a branch or rip it off of its tree. I mean, this fruit. Because it's connected to the tree, right? With this thing over here. Well, just because you think it doesn't feel, it feels. So trees are alive too. Plants are alive too. Okay, that's why plants can die, because they have life in them. The Father created it like that. So people that say that they don't want to hurt living creatures, you're foolish. You're full of doo-doo. That which groweth of its own accord of thy harvest, thou shalt not reap, neither gather the grapes of thy vine undressed. For it is a year of rest unto the land. Don't touch my hair for a whole year. All this that you see down there, don't touch it. That's what the Heavenly Father said. And you will see them animals come, them insects come, they will eat it. Because that's their feast now. You know what I'm saying? Right. And the Heavenly Father created it like that. So that's what's up. So it says, and the Sabbath of the land shall be meat for you, for thee, and for thy servants, and for thy maid, and for thy hired servant, and for thy stranger that sojourneth with thee. Now I will upload another video called Isaiah chapter 56 that will explain the stranger, the sojourner, and the strangers and stuff like that that are allowed, that are Israelites, that are allowed to do certain things with us. Okay. There's two strangers here. You have the Gar and you have the Nakar. I also already uploaded the book of Exodus chapter 12 that explains the stranger, the two meaning of the word strangers. Because in the English it's just one word. Just like you have, for example, you have a bark. Now bark means two things. This is a bark, but then you have a dog that barks. Because the English, I think they ran out of words or something, I don't know. I think they ran out of words. But yeah, that's the same thing with the Hebrew. Because this was written in Hebrew, and then you would understand it much better because it says, wait. Now this is from the Bible, the book of Sirach, but it's in the Apocrypha. Now this is the beginning of it. It says the prologue of the wisdom of Yahushua, the son of Sirach. Yeah, this name is in the English it would be Joshua. Right, the wisdom of Yahushua, the son of Sirach. So yeah, Joshua, not the Lord Yahushua. So it says here, for the same things other than Hebrew and translated into another tongue have not the same force in them. And not only these things, but the law itself and the prophets and the rest of the books have no small difference when they are spoken in their own language. So they have a big difference when you speak Hebrew, because the English cannot do certain things. People that have their own language, they know what I'm talking about when what I just said. They know like, yeah, he's right. I can't express myself in the English like I would be able to in my own language. It doesn't exist. It just doesn't, right? You need to. It just doesn't. You need to find words that are, and expressions that are similar to the way you actually want to express or have something come over. Right. No, it says here, verse 7, and for thy cattle, and for the beasts that are in thy land, shall all the increase thereof be meat. So food and stuff like that. And thou shalt number 7 Sabbaths of years unto thee, 7 times 7 years. And the space of the 7th Sabbath of years shall be unto thee 49 years. Right? So 7 times 7 is 49. Then shalt thou cause the trumpet of the Jubilee to sound on the 10th day of the 7th month, in the day of atonement shall ye make the trumpet sound throughout all the land. And ye shall hallow the 15th year, and proclaim liberty throughout all the land unto all inhabitants thereof. It shall be a jubilee unto you, and ye shall return every man unto his possession. Yeah. And ye shall return every man unto his family. That goes to for the slaves. Right? There's Jubilee. Jubilee. Definition. Special a year of emancipation and restoration. Kept every 50 years, basically. It's a 49, but anyway. Yeah, it's the 50th year, sorry. It's in the 50th year you do it, but 7 times 7, which is 49. So yeah, they're right, bastards. But anyway, right. But just like how you have the land Sabbath is 6 years you work, and the 7th you keep the Sabbath, which would be 7 years in total. Only just like how the earth is made in 7 years. No, it isn't. It's actually 6. Did I say years? I mean days. 6 days. It's actually 1 day is 1,000 years with the Lord. So, but they say the earth was made in 7 days. No, it wasn't. It was made in 6, and then the 7th was a year. Was the resting time. Genesis chapter 1. You can read that there. If you read it, you'll see. Right, Genesis chapter 1. So it took 6,000 years to make the earth, and 1,000 year is when the Lord had rest. And then you have the 7-day theory, right? Which is not a theory. It's it's kind of a theory because it was actually 6 days work. and 1,000 year rest. But yeah, so basically this is what it is: the year of restoration, kept every 50 years. Now it says here, unto you, and ye shall return every man unto his possession, meaning every servant that you have needs to go back to their, you give their stuff back to them. And ye shall return every man unto his family, and the same thing. So you give their stuff back to them, and you give them back to their family, because some men were slaves, according to the book of Exodus. What is it again? Hebrew servants, right? Exodus 21, if I'm correct. Yeah, Exodus 21 here. If you read that, then you will know what I'm talking about. Right, so it says here, a jubilee shall that 15th year be unto you. So 15th, right? And what is 15th? Which is 50th. Oh my goodness, I said 15th. 50th. 50th, sorry. I read it wrong, sorry. It's good that I looked it up, because I was going to make a mistake. A jubilee shall be 50th year. What? A jubilee shall that 50th year be unto you. Ye shall not sow, neither reap that which groweth of itself in it, nor gather the grapes in it of thy vine undress. Sorry, I have to drink as my throat is itching. 12. For it is the Jubilee. It shall be holy unto you. Ye shall eat the increase thereof out of the field. In the year of this Jubilee, because what did the Lord do with, for example, Joseph? What did he do? He gave him 7 years fat, which then he gathered all the things in all the land and put it in barns and stored them. And then he had 7 years of drought in Egypt. And only they had food, and the rest of the land had not. So that shows you that the Heavenly Father, what he will do is, oh, we are not allowed to plow here for an entire year. Okay, guess what? He will make sure that we have food for an entire year. That's how the Lord works, man. He made sure that Joseph had food for 7 years. How much more for 1 year? See? So all we need to do is depend and believe in the Lord and just have faith, and he will fix us up, man. You know? But Esau is the creator of doubt. Because when Peter went to Yahushua on the water, he was walking on water, but then he started to doubt, and then he started to sink. And the Lord said, O ye of little faith. Matthew 8 here. It's also somewhere else. I'll just get to Matthew, it's all good. Yeah, Matthew 8 and... No, wait. Matthew 14, that's what I'm thinking for. Right, Matthew 14. Let me get this one done. Hey. Matthew 14. Matthew 14 and 28. And Peter answered him and said, Lord, if it be thou, bid me to come unto thee on the water. And he said, Come. And when Peter was come down out of the ship, he walked on the water to go to Yahushua. But when he saw the wind boisterous, he was afraid, and began to sink. He cried, saying, Lord, save me. And immediately Yahushua stretched forth his hand, and caught him, and said unto him, O thou of little faith, wherefore didst thou doubt? So that shows you that if you have a little bit of doubt in the faith, in Yahushua, in the truth of the Heavenly Father, Yahushua, you could already be, you could already mess yourself up. And that's why Esau is always a creator of doubt. He wants doubt in your head. He will do a documentary or something, and when you're done watching that documentary, you will have more questions in the end than answers than before you went into that thing to ask. Wait, somebody said the bell. Sorry. Right. Sorry about that. Now you will go into that. You will get out of watching that documentary with more questions than when you went in before you went to go look at that documentary. That's what he does. He's a creator of doubt. He wants to. He's a devil. He does it on purpose because he knows better. But he wants you to not know better. So therefore, he puts all these opinions. He puts the left and the right. He's a snake-tongued devil, so he does that by nature. He puts the wrong and the good within it. But then he's gonna ask you the question like, are we overfishing the sea? Are we poisoning our kids? You know, there's a documentary called let me get that. The Disappearing Male. Now the Disappearing Male, here, I watched it. Common chemicals that are making men infertile. The Disappearing Male. I'll put that link in the description box. But he's asking you stupid questions. But the thing is, I can clearly see that that is what it is, man. Are we destroying our own children? Of course you are, fucking devil. With these chemicals, I'm gonna put the link in the description box so you can check it out for yourself. And then don't let this devil ask you stupid questions while the answer is right there in front of you. It's just irritating what these people are doing. But anyway. Now it says here, verse 14. And if thou sell aught unto thy neighbor, or buyest aught of thy neighbor's hand, ye shall not oppress one another. Right. According to the number of years after the Jubilee, thou shalt buy of thy neighbor. And according unto the number of years of the of the fruits, that he shall sell unto thee. Right. So it's only a certain amount that we are supposed to be doing. According to the multitude of years, thou shalt increase the price thereof, yet and not oppress one another. And according to the fewness of years, thou shalt diminish the price of it. For according to the number of the years of the fruits, doth he sell unto thee. Now you might say this is not really important to know now because we don't even know which year we are. We're keeping their calendar, and that's a solar calendar. So we don't really know what year we are according to the Hebrew calendar. And also, we don't have no land. We don't sell stuff. But yeah, it's still kind of important to know. Not 100%. So that's why I really don't want 100% go up in it. Because it's hella confusing. Especially if you don't get it. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, 17. Ye shall not therefore oppress one another, but thou shalt fear Yahweh, thy power. Thou shalt fear thy power, for I am Yahweh, your power. Wherefore ye shall do my statutes and keep my judgments and do them, and ye shall dwell in the land in safety. And the land shall yield her fruit, and ye shall eat your fill, and dwell therein in safety. And ye shall say, what shall we eat the 7th year? Behold, we shall not sow, nor gather in our increase. Then I will command my blessing upon you in the 7th year, and it shall bring forth fruit for 3 years. Boom! Just like what he did with Joseph. You know, that's just an example. But this is even a bigger example, because in the year before he will tell you like, okay, don't touch the land. In that year, he might give you abundance. You know what I'm saying? You're going to have so much food, you'd be like, what? I got food here for 3 years. You're always gonna have food. Always gonna have your fill. Where did it say that? Yeah, here. And ye shall eat your fill. You're gonna have so much, man. You're gonna have fruit, vegetables, everything. Most of the times, fruits are on a tree, vegetables are on the ground. But you have certain trees that have vegetables, like avocado and stuff like that. But then you have also fruits that are on the ground, which is watermelon. You know, because there is an avocado tree, yeah, right. That's a vegetable if I'm correct. Or is the fruit? I don't know. Anyway, so going on now, it says here, right, that shall eat in the 7th year, right? 22. And ye shall sow the 8th year, and eat yet of old fruit until the 9th year. That's how much food. That's how much food the Heavenly Father is gonna fix us up with. Until her fruits come in ye, until the fruits come in, ye shall eat of the old store. And the Heavenly Father is powerful. He will not let worms come upon the food. Yep. He will command these insects to stay off of the food. Worms. Here. It says it here. Where is it again? Exodus. Somewhere in Exodus. Somewhere in Exodus. Where is it again? Yeah, here. Exodus 16. Right, anyway, let me get that. He can command these bacteria, insects, anything. He can command them. Don't eat their food. You already have your fill. Go to the land and eat there. Hey, the Most High is powerful, man. I'm saying, yeah, that's just great. Now it says here. You should read this chapter for yourself, and then you're gonna see when the Heavenly Father said, "Do it." Don't work on the Sabbath. The next day, I will give you food for 2 days. Right here, he did it too, and then they did it. But then the other day, when the Sabbath wasn't there, they left the food only one day, and it got worms. Now it says here, check this out. Exodus chapter 16, verse 19, and this is when we do not listen to the Lord. Okay, so it says here, and Moses said, "Let no man leave of it till the morning." Notwithstanding, they hearkened not unto Moses, but some of them left it unto the morning, and it bred worms and stank. And Moses was wroth with them because they were stubborn. But the other day, when the Sabbath came in, it didn't get worms. Where was it again? Let me see. You should read the chapter for yourself. It's gonna say it somewhere here. And was it here? I think it was here. First, let me see. I think I had it in the morning. Wait, let me read on. Now it says here. And they gathered it every morning, every man according to his eating, right? As much as they could. And when the sun waxed hot, it melted. And it came to pass that on the 6th day they gathered twice as much bread, 2 omers for one man instead of one. Twice as much bread and two omers for one man, which is a measurement if I'm correct. And all the rulers of the congregation came and told Moses, and he said unto them, This is that which the Lord had said. Tomorrow is the rest. Oh yeah, here it is. I think. Is the rest of the holy Sabbath unto the Lord. Bake that which ye will bake today, and seethe that ye will seethe. Seethe is when you seethe something. You know? Put it in liquid or boil or something like that, right? For example, if you seethe chicken, for just an example, if you seethe chicken, and then you can even seethe bread, but if you seethe this, it will stay longer fresh than actually raw chicken, because the raw chicken will start stinking. But when you seethe it, it will stay fresher a little longer. Not sweet bread. Seethe. You can't seethe bread. That's I saw it. I was like, huh? No, you can't. Yeah, but the example of the chicken, you see something in boiling water, it will stay longer. Right, boiling in liquid. Right, the rest of the holiday. Okay, on to the Lord. Bake that which. Okay, I already read that. Okay, here. And that which remaineth over, lay up for you to be kept until the morning. So here, right, and then check this out. And they laid it up till the morning, as Moses bade. And it did not stink, neither was there any worm therein. I was looking for this. Right. Neither was there any worm therein. So that's the point. The Heavenly Father can keep the smell off of it, that it doesn't spoil, because they was not allowed to work one day. So how they gonna get the food now? So the Lord said, get food for 2 days. Today, let's say tomorrow is a Shabbat, right? Then the Lord said, get the food for 2 days. Go gather food for 2 days. And they was thinking like, man, it's gonna stink. It's gonna spoil. But they did it anyway. So now, when that day came, the second day, they was like, eh, it's still fresh. Well, that's the same thing here. That's what the Lord can do. He already did it then, and he can do it again. Right? So this is the book of Leviticus, chapter 25, verse 22. And ye shall sow the 8th year, and ye shall eat yet of old fruit until the 9th year. Who knows of fruit that can stay 3 years good? Only with the power of the Heavenly Father, my man. You know what I'm saying? Until her fruits come in, ye shall eat of the old store. And there's ways to preserve fruit. For example, sugar. Figs on sugar. There's natural ways. Wait. Here, you dried up figs. You can do that. You have dried up fruit, and it won't spoil. Believe me that those figs won't spoil. You have dried up fruits. You have prunes. You have all these things. You can even dry this up. You have pineapple. You can dry all this up. There's ways of making it like this, because a pineapple will spoil in what 2 days? 2 days. Start grow fungus, but you can dry them up. You can dry all this up. So these things are able, and then you can put them in this. Look, oranges. We had our ways. Okay, we had our ways. It doesn't specifically necessarily mean that we did this to all our fruit. I'm just giving you an example of this is possible. You have, again, pineapples. You have all these things, and they stay long. They stay healthy for long. Let me just here. How you call this thing? Strawberries. You can dry them up. You can dry all this stuff. Orange type things. And yeah, it will not spoil. It will not spoil. Even this thing over here. What's the name again, man? Kiwi. Yeah, this thing. Even this you can dry up. He's trying to make that GMO. Another devil. Gotta watch out for these devils, man. The banana weed. April's Fool. Yeah, they're about to do this. They're probably already busy with it. Devils. And the Lord said you're not allowed to mix his creations. But they're still doing it. That's why they're going to pay. That's the beauty. But let me just move on. So, right. So there, right? The land shall not be sold forever, for the land is mine. Leviticus chapter 25, verse 23. The land shall not be sold forever, for the land is mine. For ye are strangers and sojourners with me. Yeah, it is the Lord. Even your body is not yours. It's his, because when you die, it goes back to the ground. Nothing is yours. We are borrowed from the Lord. Wait, let me make a part 2 from this.